Okay, everybody. So this is where we're going next. I've got my iPad open to an image from my photo essay. I've taken it into the editing and I've cropped it and I've played with it so that it has some nice high contrast. And now I'm going into my palette, which I've prepared with our primaries. There's some colors on here from the last time we did our color wheel. And I'm looking at the photo. I'm going to fill in these tonal notes down here. I made a grid of 5 by 5, and I'm just going to see if I can mix some colors that I see that are here. So first of all, this is a reddish orange. And what we know about that is it is a mixture of red and yellow. And I know this by putting just pure red down here in this tonal note and seeing that this color is bluer than this red. So I'm going to go on in there into my palette and pull some yellow into the center and see if I can find the color that I'm looking for. A great way to do this also is to use your 3 by 5 card and place it on a separate sheet of paper that kind of comes in as a color checker. So I have some extra paper here, and I've made this orangey red, and then I can bring it right over to, and if I put it right on the corner, I bring it right over and I can see that it's relating more to this than this color is, right? And so I'm gonna lay that in, and that's gonna be my first tonal color patch, right? Now I can see that that belongs somewhere along here, and I'm using my flat brush. It goes like kind of all across here and straight down. And again, you can know that you can paint over things, but we're just kind of going in for the general side. In every place we see it, really. I see it coming up the spout. You guys may or may not notice the way I'm using my flat brush to pull patches into place. And I see it across this edge, and I see it in here. And that's all I see it. Okay. Now I'm going to go into an area that might look a little lighter. So I'm going to bring in a little more yellow. And I'm going to lay that into a different corner here. And then bring it kind of over to this section where it gets a little brighter. And then lay it in here. Okay, and I'm going to then go ahead and lay it into the painting where I see it gets warmer across this side. All right, so now I have 2 color patches. These are considered to be my lighter part of the red area. I also see some of it really through here. So this is just taking the yellow and making it a little bit warmer. Okay. Now this darker side is made up of a red, and what we know that we can make red a little bit darker by adding a tiny bit of its complement. So I'm going to clean my brush. I'm going to make myself a little green over here. And then I'm going to bring a little bit of that green, just a little bit, into my red. And you can see it go darker. It's still in the red family. And I'm going to lay that on my Little color swatch. See how that registers on this side. I'm gonna lay it in a patch. And then I'm gonna go on in and lay my darker color in here. Everywhere I see it. It's on the inside of this handle. It's on the outside of the handle on this side. I'm gonna make another color where I add a little bit of red. And then lay that into my color swatch. Right. I'm gonna bring that in here. I'm going to overlap these two just a wee bit. And I'm going to take that color and see it inside over here. Okay, now it's time to get this darker value that is like a stripe through here, and it's not there. So I'm going to go ahead and bring a little bit more green into my red. And get that darker color. Let's check it out. I put it on here and I bring it in here. And that's going to be kind of the big number 10, the darkness that comes up through here and across here. And in here, we know that it's got a black circle that goes around the edge. We don't have black anymore for now. I also see this color go underneath and come across and around the back. So I'm going to take that color and add it to my color notes. It's like the darkest value we have so far. And now I'm starting to see that it's, when I keep my eyes in a permanent squint, this is very dark through here. And this side of the handle has it, a little bit of darkness there too. A little bit of darkness on this side. That's probably too dark. I'm going to add some red to that color and see what I get. I get another tonal note over here. And I'm going to come on in there. Okay. And now I'm starting to develop some value. In other words, what we were trying to do with our white to black, we're starting to do with just reddish orange into purple, right? Okay, and I'm gonna proceed in that way. Every time I see a color, I'm gonna mix it. All right, now this negative space out here, it's really blue. And I'm gonna go on in and put a little white on my palette. Bring that in so you can see. And I'm gonna make a little light blue. It's just blue and white. And then when I check it up against here, it's too bright and not quite purple enough. So the opposite of blue is orange. So I'm gonna bring a tiny bit of orange that's already on my palette into that light blue. And it's gonna take it into more of a gray. And when I lay that on the paper, you can see that that's one of my tonal notes. And that's gonna go here. And then since I've got it, I'll put it over here. Okay? And it's not white, it's like a gray. And I see it through the handle over here, and I see it over here, and I see it over here. I'm going to add some more blue to it and a little bit more orange to it to get it to be the color of the shadow, so that its color is a little darker in value. So not quite right, it needs a little bit of red because it's a purple. Here we go, try that again. Here we go. So now I'm gonna lay that in my tonal notes, and I'm gonna lay it in to the shadow. Okay, this color up here is a super dark gray. All right, so I'm gonna take my blue again and bring it into my orange directly. And then I'm gonna give it a touch down on my paper and bring it on over. And I've got my gray. I'm laying it in my tonal notes, and then I'm laying it into my painting. Right up against my puzzle pieces, I want them to touch. I see it in between here. Got a little bit too watery, so I'm gonna layer it in there. Kind of ends here, a little bit on the horizon line. I can fade that into, well, this corner right here is actually a little bit of a green, so I'm gonna take a little more yellow into that color and see if I can find it. Maybe a little white too. And see if I can make that warmer triangle color that's right in here. I'll lay it in my tonal notes and then lay it in my painting. Yeah, I like that a lot. I like the way this is warmer here, the way this is warmer here. Okay, and now it's just time to look at the inside of that. And I think that basically the use of these two colors, which are already outside of the color scheme, would work on the inside of the color scheme. So I'm going to clean my brush. So I'm really just in love with this little green brush, and I'm gotta keep it clean if I want to keep using it. I'm going into that light blue that we knew was too bright, so we're going to neutralize it with orange. And I'm going to go on in here and notice that this area, not watery enough, this area in here is dark, and then it has an angle that kind of comes like that. And I'm going to go on in and add mostly white to that in a new pile. I'm going to come on in here, and then it comes across. And now it looks like we can go inside the vase. Right? Okay. So that's where we're going next.